What's up, my family? Listen, first-time listener, or you've been here the whole damn time. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, giddy up, let's go, enjoy the clip, no notes.
Yeah, I think the rest of the division got better. This is a great point here.
Yeah, that's what I said. I already said it. Dallas got better. Dallas got better without a doubt.
We got better too, I think, but I still think we're a 5 or 6 win team. But Dallas could try. They could come close to winning 10 games if Dak's healthy, right? Washington's, I think, better. They've obviously got their quarterback situation. Fitzpatrick's going to play quarterback for them, which, hey, good for him, right? They might be that might be all they need to be able to go win 10 games and win the division. And I think the Giants are much improved. I think all 3 of those teams win at least 8 games. So if you got all 3 of those teams winning 8 games and we're winning, 5 or 6, we're the worst team in the division. I don't know if this is the worst division in football anymore. We still might be one of the worst teams in football, though. That could be true. That all comes down to what Jalen Hurts is. I mean, let's be honest. That's what this comes down to. If Jalen Hurts stinks, we could be the worst team in football. If Jalen Hurts takes that step forward and looks like a guy that, hey, look, we got something here with this kid. All of a sudden, you could win 6, 7, 8 games, right? That's all going to depend on the play you get from the quarterback position. You think that's fair, Steven?
Listen, man. Listen, it really is up to Jalen Hurts now. It's his team.
It's almost like they say, "Here, kid, everything's there for you."
Exactly. Like, listen, you have a good core of tight ends. You have a good core of receivers. You have a good core of running backs.
We could have traded Zach and for have extra weapons.
And that's just like exactly. You have Goddard, Ertz, and you still have Perkins there, who catches just about anything. You know what I mean?
There's no reason to not say, okay, hey, I'm excited now.
I think the one thing you still have to think is the question mark is around the defense is more than anything, and the validity of your offensive line. Is it going to be healthy this year? And the question mark is Jalen Hurts. Can he step up and ascend, or is or we're going to see what we think he is? Is he just going to be a Tyrod Taylor, or is he going to be another Kyler Murray type, or is he going to be another mold of that? We'll see. I don't think he'll ever. Everyone wants to know. He's giving a solid B, but outside of Smith, who do you? I already said. How do you not like the cornerback? How do you not like the running back?
Yeah, the cornerback. Yeah, the cornerback in the 4th round.
I think he's like the second highest PPF grade out of the corners.
Kenneth Gainwell. I mean, Kenny Gainwell is a guy that's a 2nd round pick. If he doesn't,
just right there, there's your exceptions right there. Like even if you weren't fan of the defensive ends, you weren't fan of them. That's fine.
And I actually like the 3rd round pick. I think he's going to be a stud, but that's fine. I mean, I understand people's. I think if you're worried because he played at Louisiana Tech, I think you're an idiot. But if you're worried because you're just worried about him as a prospect, okay, that's fair. But the 4th round pick, I feel like, you're taking a chance on a kid in the 4th round that grades out much better than that. That's drafting 101. You think the kid was a much higher prospect than, all right.
I'll argue one point. Your 3rd rounder necessarily doesn't have to be a starter. That could be your red flag, your project, somebody who fell, whatever.
Go find me a draft. Even the Ravens, the Ravens are the best drafted team in football. Nobody fucking sits there and finds guys that oh yeah, all 5 of my first 5 picks in the draft were all guys that ended up being impact players. Are you that's fucking ridiculous. If you find 2 or 3 impact players in every draft, you're kicking ass. You know what I mean? That's just the bottom line. And most teams don't do that.
I don't think we need them to go in 17. We just need to have them have somewhere in the top 10. We'll be all right there with that, Jesse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have draft capital next year. 2 2s, 3 1s, 2 5s. Come on. You still have Zach Ertz to kind of make some things happen. You could take one of those ones and then trade it in.
Zach Ertz will probably get released, but Fletcher Cox could end up in a possible deal of some kind,
Yeah, that's also another thing I've been thinking.
Depending on what happens with the Jalen Hurts situation, right? So say Jalen, we've decided he's not the guy, and we're going to go and get a quarterback. He all of a sudden becomes trade capital to go with those 1st round picks. If you actually think about it in the right way, still got 2 years left on a rookie contract, right? and then you've got that. Say you package Jalen Hurts with 3 first-round picks to a team to get up to the top of the draft. It's almost hard for them to say no to that, right? Like you say, hey, you get the Texans 3 first-round picks and Jalen Hurts. It's almost hard for them to say no to that. 3 first-round picks and Jalen Hurts for Deshaun Watson, right? Like it's almost hard for the Texans to say no to that.
Another thing here, he's bringing up we were back on this about we haven't. The other thing, like when
I'm with you, Ewing. We just talked about that. We just talked about it. Getting last year's player production or any of the past few years, like getting the idea of what players are from a previous regime, getting that out of your head, because you're right. It's a completely new coaching regime. And we talked about that earlier, that is going to completely change things. Jalen Hurts' 52% completion percentage could have been more could have been more because Doug Peterson was running such a vanilla offense and his play calling was so fucking garbage that's all you were going to get out of Jalen. And maybe Nick Sirianni puts him in a lot better positions to succeed, and he looks much better, and he takes some steps forward, and you're like, hey, I like this kid now. He's going to be my franchise quarterback. But you just didn't see that last year. Now whether that was because of Jalen or whether it was because of Doug, or whether it was a combination of both, that being made to be seen. But yeah, all these things matter. Same thing with the wide receiving core, right? Like, what would drive Philadelphia fans crazy? Steven, tell me this would not trigger the shit out of people in this city. Imagine if J.J. Arcega-Whiteside somehow turns into a legitimate receiver now that Nick Sirianni and this new coaching staff's here. All of a sudden, something like that happens. Umbrella Boy turns into, 1,000-yard receiver boy.
What are you smoking? And please pass it to think that might happen. What are you smoking if you think that's going to happen? No. Nick Sirianni is not the fucking wide receiver whisperer, brother. Stop.
They brought in the dude from the guy from India, whoever the fuck he was supposed to be, the other dude that was supposed to be the really, really good wide receivers to go with it. But I'm just saying, I like to think of shit that would trigger Eagles fans. You want things that'll trigger Eagles fans? J.J. Arcega-Whiteside to all of a sudden actually show a pulse and do something this year. Oh, it'd trigger the shit out of Eagles fans. But take him out of the picture still. We were talking about the guys last year, John Hightower and Quez Watkins and Rager. As much as we're very disappointed in those guys, we don't know. They could become something. Right?
Listen. We didn't say he didn't have an eye for talent. We just said he likes hyping guys up. It doesn't matter if they're he's a film guy, so he finds the thing about them and he shines it up real nice and presents it to you.
Go find me a player that Brian Baldinger has ever talked bad about, Philly fan. There's never been a prospect that Brian Baldinger's talked bad about. Never. It used to be John Gruden on Monday Night Football. John Gruden, never used to. There was never a player on Monday Night Football that John Gruden wasn't in love with.
Oh man, John Gruden on Monday Night Football. Jesus.
This guy right here, this is a football player, man. Let me tell you something. What I like about this kid, he's just one of those hard.
They just still have not found anybody to replace John Madden, and it's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen.
Peyton Manning was like, nope, fuck you. Yeah, I'm with you, Jay. He brought up Steven Nelson from Pittsburgh.
Yes.
It's controversy out the gate on the biggest day of Milton Williams' life. Milton Williams has Aaron Donald potential. Who knows? I wouldn't say he has Aaron Donald potential. You got that because his measurables are very similar. But that's still reason enough to be excited, right?
Yeah.
Go look at his shuttle time. Go look at his 40 time. Go look at his the different cone drills that he did. Look at his height and his weight. Look at all those things. He measures up very, very identically to Aaron Donald. Doesn't mean he's going to be Aaron Donald, but hell, how can you not be excited about a guy that did all the drills in very similar time and fashion to Aaron Donald? And you got him in the 3rd round, right? It's not like we took that kid in the 1st or something. I didn't stand people bitching about us taking what if we took that kid at 37? I get it. I'm not a fan of bitching about 3rd round picks. I feel like 3rd round picks, you're kind of in an area where you just
relax.
This is kind of when you're taking shots at guys anyway. You know what I mean? You're not really nothing's really set in stone come the 3rd round.